This week on Whitetail Explorer, Stan and Brenda Potts bow hunt the rut in Illinois.
Right here, big shooter coming right at us, right here. I'm talking about right there.
As whitetail hunters, we're all explorers. We're always out there exploring for a better food source, bedding areas, looking for tree stand locations, exploring for rub lines, scrape lines. We're no different than the big mature whitetail bucks themselves. Whitetail Explorer, we're glad you joined us.
Whitetail Explorer is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Hornady, Matthews Archery, Muzzy Broadheads, Nocturnal Lighted Knocks, Block Targets. Come along with Stan Potts and his team as they hunt big bucks on Whitetail Explorer.
Folks, welcome to this week's Whitetail Explorer. This week, my wife Brenda and I are bow hunting in our home state of Illinois, one of our favorite places on earth to hunt, and we have some great action. So you want to stick around because I know you're going to enjoy this week's bow hunting. Brenda Potts, Stan Potts in Illinois.
Hey folks, welcome to Illinois, my home state. I'm just so keyed up. This is our first morning in the tree. It's full-blown rut. We've been working 2 days hanging sets. This is the first time to hunt this farm. First time in. There's some mega giants in this area, so you stick with us. Right here, right on the other side of the hedge trees. Oh, I can see a deer. It's a buck. It's a buck. He's a 10-point, isn't he? We had a decent morning. Saw a little small buck and 3 or 4 does. Had one pretty nice buck, but I think he was young. But he was pretty nice. Went through right here. We're gonna ease and get down out of here and run and grab a sandwich. Get back to the truck and get back in the stand early afternoon. Probably not this stand. A different stand we'll go to this afternoon. I can hear something back here. Right here, Jason. Looks like 2 bucks chasing 2 or 3 does. Oh, look at him raise that tail. He smelled where we stepped right there to come in. He didn't like that. You see him start to raise that tail. Well, that skunk is going to kind of close it down. The rut should be kicking in good. So you just stick with us. We'll see you in the morning. We'll be in a different stand in the morning, about a quarter of a mile from where we're sitting right here. Give me a second. Thank you, Lord.
This segment is brought to you by Hunter's Safety System.
Stan, my question is, how did you get started in the hunting industry?
Dominic, thanks for this week's question. It's a pretty good question. I've had that question asked to me lots and lots of times, how I got started in the hunting industry. Well, let me give you a brief history. You know, years and years ago, I was fortunate enough to harvest some big deer that North American Whitetail back in the 80s done some articles on. And then I was interviewed for a few chapters in people's books that were writing about big whitetails. And then I got my opportunity to do some stuff on film. And believe it or not, my great buddies, Mark and Terry Drury, that's the first time I done stuff on film. Mark had a company called Mad Calls. He produced turkey calls and deer calls, and he came to me and asked me if I would help him do a video called Power Calling. And I did. We set up, and it was real easy for me. I enjoyed it, and that's where we started doing it. And that evolved into video stuff for Hunter Specialties and Mark, and then transitioned into TV. And here I am today. I've been fortunate for the last 15, 20 years to make a living and a career in the hunting industry, and the Lord blessed me to be able to do that, and I am so thankful. Thanks for your question this week. See you next week.
Hey folks, we're getting ready to go in. We got down and got a sandwich. We're in Illinois. This is our third day. And wouldn't you know it, when we pulled up here, sitting here in the truck, big buck just walked across the lane here in front of us, about 150 yards, big buck. You know, so maybe they've broke loose and they're finally cruising. I hope so. You stick with us. We're in Illinois. It's rut, and it should be happening today. Here comes a buck, a small buck. He's trailing that doe. I think that skunk is following us. We saw him 2 evenings ago, about 200, 300 yards from here. It's the same skunk, you can tell by his stripes. Right here, big shooter coming right at us, right here. Coming right here.
Welcome to Property Goals with Mark Beck. This segment is brought to you by Illinois Land Sales and Auction.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Property Goals here on Whitetail Explorer. This week I want to talk a little bit about CRP and CREP. Everybody's heard of it. It's Conservation Reserve Program or Conservation Reserve Enhancement Program. The E stands for the enhancement. That's typically a state added function, whether it be a 15 or permanent easement put on the property. I love CRP farms, especially here in the Midwest where I'm from, here in Central Illinois. There's a lot of different programs out there. You know, you get a CRP farm, can be all prairie grass if you're a bird hunter. Pheasants Forever, Quails Unlimited will help you with that. Your local soil and water conservation district, you know, manages the program. If you're a deer hunter, you might lean more towards a tree planting program or a combination of those things. It's a great program. I talk to people all the time in real estate business myself. I see people want a big block of timber, and I try to be polite about it, but say, you know, you really need to look at a CRP farm or a farm with some diversity. I'd much rather have a 100-acre farm with 70 acres of CRP and only 30 acres of timber as opposed to 100 acres block of timber. That 100 acres of with 70 acres of CRP is going to have more carrying capacity than 100 acres of timber. So keep that in mind when you're out looking for property. Don't shy away from those CRP farms. Actually, you know, I'd go towards those. So join us next week for more property goals on Whitetail Explorer.
Folks, can you believe that skunk in my home state of Illinois during the rut? Everywhere Barry and I went, he seemed to follow us. That big buck came right in and stopped and looked up, and he spooked him, and then he run off, didn't even get a shot. But we've got my wife Brenda bow hunting coming up behind the house. You don't want to miss it. And I'm still in Sangamon County trying to get it done.
Well, that's a good sign. We just got camera light a little while ago, and that little buck just went cruising through there, but he dropped down in that ditch just like that deer did the other day when I was down here in this blind. They seem to want to cross right over there. Unfortunately, that's not our property. I can't go any farther north than where I am right here, so I got to depend on the decoy to bring one over here. That one was just too little, though. Here's something about behind us. It's a big buck. Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. He's going down, he's going down. Go down, go down, go down. He's down right over there. I was just sitting here. I could hear some running around behind me. I heard a couple of grunts behind me, and so I grunted at him, grunted, and he come around this way, and he stood behind that decoy forever. I didn't think he was ever gonna move. I was starting to see cross-eyed, and then he finally stepped out, and he only ran about 40 yards, and he went down right over there. Holy cow. I can't believe that. From the ground with the decoy, Friday the 13th. Yes.
Whitetail Explorer is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands, Hornady, Hunter's Safety System, Third Arm Camera Tree Support, IQ Bow Sights, Illinois Land Sales and Auction, Springfield Archery, and books by Potts.com. Welcome to Capture the Hunt with Barry GREENHAW. This segment is brought to you by the Third Arm Camera Tree Support.
Hey guys, Barry GREENHAW with Capture the Hunt, and today's segment we're going to talk about cutaways and how crucial they are to building a hunt. And what I mean by cutaway are the shots that help build the hunt leading up to the kill and say right after the kill. And the shots I'm talking about before the kill, say other animals out there feeding in the field, leaves fluttering in the wind, flowers, whatever you're hunting over, maybe it be soybeans, whatever, pan of the area. And then say your animal comes in, you want to get shots like you spotting him coming in. You want to get shots of the rangefinder, ranging as he's coming in there trying to pick a spot to shoot, grabbing your bow off of the hanger, putting your release on the string, the actual shot, drawing back your bow. A really good reaction after the shot. You know, a lot of people tend to forget that, and that can really build the hunt. These are the things that you really need to get to tie it all together, to show your experience you had out in the field. Another thing is right after the shot, do your cutaways immediately, because you want to get it before that lighting changes any at all, so that way it all matches and looks really good. Hopefully this tip will help you capture the hunt.
Brenda just smoked a giant right behind the house and filmed herself.
He's a great buck. Can you believe it? I just shot a giant. I mean, he's not a giant, but he's a stud old buck, you know.
What is he?
I don't know. He's kind of short time, but I don't care what he is. He's just a mature, awesome buck on the ground with a decoy.
Take a picture of him and send it to me. All right, I love you. Bye. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Lord.
I just called Timmy. I called Stanley and told him he and Barry are hunting over in Sangamon County, and they're about an hour away, and Timmy's just up at the lease, so I called him. He's gonna come down and help me go get him, but I know he's just laying right over there in that field.
Yes! Friday the 13th. Unlucky? I don't think so. Now it's our turn.
Well, I just got all my stuff out of the blind, waiting for Timmy to come, but I know his buck is laying right over there. I saw him go down, and it's been 30 minutes, so I'm going over there. There he is. Right there. Oh, yes. Yes. He is a stud of a buck. Oh my gosh. He's so huge I can't even pick him up. Oh my goodness. Wait till Timmy sees this.
She just walked up to him. Look at that left base. His left base. He is a big 5-6-year-old stud right behind the house. She's the best, I'm telling you. She is the best.
Congratulations. Thank you. Gosh. I don't know how much he weighs. He's got to be 200 and something, don't you think? He is a stud. I'm speechless. I cannot believe this just happened this morning. Holy cow, he is a monster buck.
Well, we're going to ease down. It's 10 o'clock. It's about a 45-minute drive. Back home, we're going to run back and see Brenda's buck and congratulate her, and then we'll come back this afternoon. And we'll probably get right back in this tree. The wind's going to be good for it. It's a great cruising spot. We saw a couple of bucks in here, some does this morning, saw some deer about 100 yards away bouncing around like a buck chasing. So we're going to come back in here. So you stick with us. We'll see you right back here this afternoon.
My gosh, look at this.
Look what I did.
I can't. That is a freaking giant.
I can't believe
That could be a 6.5-year-old deer. Look at the size of it. Look at those bases. Congratulations, my boo-boo. Filmed yourself, got him on film. That's what I'm talking about right there. Big, giant, mature whitetail. Brenda filmed herself, put her own pop-up blind up or decoy, and went right in the backyard and smoked a monster buck. Skunked in Illinois. He was chasing me everywhere. I hope you enjoyed that. But Brenda bailed us out. She killed a beautiful big buck right behind the house, filmed herself, done everything, put her decoy out, got it done. Thanks for tuning in this week, but we need you right here next week, same time, same place. Check us out on Facebook. Remember, whitetailexplorer.com. So from all of us here, see you next week.